As we've learned in recent weeks, no matter where you are, flooding can happen. Places you don't even think flooding can happen, it certainly can, especially with severe weather like hurricanes. But for some people, it's even more so concerning because they live in a flood zone. But what is that? Well, to answer that question, Jeanette Womble from eXp Realty joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So what exactly is a flood zone? How is it different than just a random house?
Well, a flood zone is designated as having a higher risk of flooding in a term of 100 to 500 years.
Okay.
So as you know, here in Columbia, we have a lot of rivers,
right.
We have a lot of lakes. So it is something that we see very frequently when we're looking at properties, and definitely something you want to consider when you're looking for a home.
How do I know if I'm I mean, just because I'm near water, does that automatically make me in a flood zone?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
And sometimes you may not even realize that you're near water if it's a low-lying creek, you know, back in the woods or something like
right.
that. So
the back
best,
40, as we used to say. Sure.
Yes. So the best thing to do is to go to FEMA.gov. Mm-hmm. FEMA has risk maps, and you can type in the address of the property, and then it will show you where the property falls on the map. There's a little red pin. Mm-hmm. And if you fall in a blue or a diagonally blue and brown shaded area, chances are you're in a higher risk zone. It also will tell you a designation. So if the designation is an A or a V like Victor, okay. Chances are you're also in a high risk zone if you see that designation.
What does that do for like your homeowner's insurance? Do you have to, is that extra? I've heard, you know, you have to carry flood insurance, you're required to, whatever. What's the deal with that?
Well, it basically, it's required if you have a mortgage. Okay. So if there is a lender that is backing your financing of your home, you will have to carry flood insurance. Mm-hmm. It is going to vary depending on the probability of flooding and how high risk you're in.
Right.
So it can be anywhere from $50 a month up to, you know, $500 a month.
Oh, wow.
So it can be very expensive.
What does that do to your home value? I mean, is that something you want to stay away from? Is that like an absolute taboo, or is that just a consideration when you're looking at your home?
It really falls into cost of ownership and people's comfort level with
right.
rising waters. So typically, if your house is located in a flood zone, it can reduce the number of people that may want to consider buying the house.
Right. So thereby reducing the value of it, your resale value.
It can affect the value. Absolutely. It depends. You know, on Lake Murray, lots of houses are in flood zones and people still buy them and compete for them.
So you're going to be on the lake, you know, I'll take the risk, right?
Depends on the view.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Okay, great. Great stuff on flood zones. I'm going to put links at abccolumbia.com to Jeanette if you have questions on that. Expert, fantastic with real estate. Great information as always. I appreciate that. Flooding very relevant as we go through this hurricane season for sure. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
Guys, stay close. We're coming back.